Hola.
Saludos, Divine Church. Hola, Vine family. Thanks so much for your prayers, your love, and your support as we go on this trip to Ecuador. Once again, we're excited to see our family here, and we've been having a great time and learning a lot about the churches and learning about the culture, and we got to see Claudia and Silvana's home. It's been an excellent experience.
We work a lot with local churches here, and we've found that building partnerships between stateside churches and the local churches here is one of the greatest ways to encourage our brothers here, encourage the brothers up in the States, and short-term teams come, and they're just a huge blessing to the churches here and to us here in Compassion Connection.
One of my favorite things so far has been sitting under the leadership of Steve and Sandy, of just a season of learning, of soaking in, of absorbing all of their wisdom and growing in our understanding of the mission here and our understanding of Ecuadorian culture.
I think the most coolest thing that I've been able to see in my role here has been the lives that are slowly being transformed as men and women are getting more access to solid biblical training, and they're being discipled and they're growing in their faith, and it's having an effect in their churches.
They spend the first good portion of their prayers, like 5, 10, 15-minute prayers, just praising and thanking God for all He has done. And then they go into what they're asking for.
One of my biggest takeaways to bring back is just how similar the church is here to the Vine back home. It's just similar visions for just loving the Word, loving community, being together, and seeing people raised up to lead in those ways, and to plant churches that need those things as well.
I'm surprised by how much I love it. It just is really a fitting place for me to live with my wife, and so I'm very thrilled by it.
I'd say that the culture is definitely a lot different here. It seems more to me to be more of a community here than in the States, where a lot of people can be a bit more individualistic, it seems to me.
Makes it look really interesting and unique.
I've just felt incredibly blessed by how welcoming everyone is and how unified we all are, even though we live far apart and we have different languages and cultures. It's just it's so cool to see all God's family come together across cultural and language borders, and it's been so fun, and it's so fun to get to know people. Even if we can't communicate well, it's still there's a connection, and it's awesome.
Would recommend.
It's all these people and all these things I've been hearing about for years, to finally put faces and experiences to what they actually are, and what Ambato is, and what Molino is, and Benitez.
Just worshiping and eating meals with the locals.
It's cool because worshiping in Spanish, it's I don't always understand the words, but I know that we're still glorifying God. And I know that when we worship in English, that it's the same experience for everyone who's used to leading worship in Spanish. So because of that, it's it's a unifying experience that reminds me that we're all one church, no matter which language.
We've been actively sitting in people's homes and conversing, and so I think the spiritual aspect has been amazing.
Being able to pray with brothers and sisters that I've seen now a couple of times is super encouraging to my heart, because it doesn't feel like I'm just praying for strangers. Now it really is that I'm praying for my aunts and uncles and my amigos.
It's also neat to see the neat connections between local churches in the United States, partnering in strategic ways with the churches here, and being able to see the knitting together of two churches as one unified church, even though there's cultural differences.
In 2016, I don't think we were partnered with Claudio and Silvana yet, so that is different. We went into the jungle on that trip, and here we're staying in the mountains, and we're spending a lot more time with the local churches in worship, and just hearing the word and praying together.
I would say that I have seen so much change, which I think is interesting, because I feel like sometimes you can leave a place and come back and you can feel like you left it and you came back to the same exact place. But I feel like I've seen growth in the churches here. I feel like I've seen growth in Claudio and Silvana and their family dynamic. I've seen growth in the personalities of their children. It's just been really encouraging to see that progress is happening and that like the mission is being accomplished.
We are so happy that you guys are here, spending time with us, serving Claudia and Silvana is such a big blessing for all of us. So, thank you.
We would love to have you here. We have a beautiful property and there's plenty of space where someone can stay and be able to see a part of God's global church here.
As always, I would always recommend everyone come to Ecuador. It'd be cool if we could get the whole church to come, like we could charter a plane.